CommonDreams.org has a terrific story about two separate sets of investigations into what are called double tap strikes. Now, this is what we do with our drones. A double tap is when we hit a certain target, and then when first responders come in, rescuers come in to help the people who have been hurt or killed, we hit them again. Now, as you're going to find out a little bit later in the story, that is a significant war crime. So did we actually do this? Well, the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, that looked into this in Pakistan's tribal areas, said that yes, the Central Intelligence Agency did not only do it earlier between 2009 and 2011, which is widely acknowledged, but that they revived the program in 2012, which has not been widely acknowledged until now. Now, they said they revived it partly to hit top al-Qaeda figure Yahya al-Libi, and that he was in fact killed by a CIA drone strike in June 4th of 2012. Now let's look into how they did that so you get a sense of whether it was the right way to conduct our affairs here. First of all, let's go back to what the Bureau found out about our previous set of double taps, and they reported this in the Sunday Times. It found evidence of 11 attacks on rescuers, so-called double tap strikes in Pakistan's tribal areas between 2009 and 2011, along with drone strikes deliberately targeting a funeral, causing mass casualties. Now, these were supposed to end by July of 2011. So, okay, look, we hit a couple of funerals a bunch of times. We hit people when they were going to rescue folks. But that was ancient history. That was all the way back in 2011. We're not doing that anymore. Well, except for the fact that it turns out they are. International media, including BBC, CNN, and news agency AFP, variously reported that rescuers had been targeted on 5 occasions between May 24th and July 23rd of 2012, with a mosque and prayers for the dead also reportedly bombed. Remember, we're the good guys. So first responders get bombed. Double taps, by the way, if you don't know, is a classic move of al-Qaeda terrorists. First car blows up, people go to respond, help the people who have been injured, the second car blows up. That's a form of a double tap, and one that we consistently and furiously denounce. How dare they, the savages, the terrorists. Okay. Mushtaq Yousafzai is a very respected reporter in Pakistan. NBC and the local paper The News use him repeatedly for their reports there. The Bureau commissioned him to do this report, and he came away with some interesting notes. First of all, his findings indicate that 5 double tap strikes did indeed take place again in mid-2012, one of which also struck a mosque. In total, 53 people were killed in these attacks, with 57 injured, the report suggests. Now, on 2 other occasions that had been reported, he went in and found out that, in fact, the double taps had not happened. And he had trouble confirming how many civilians, if any civilians, were killed, that in fact, in the double tap, we might have hit insurgents again. But the problem is the United States government says anyone who is a military-aged male that we have killed is by definition an insurgent unless proven otherwise after they're already dead. And this reporter had trouble proving or disproving that they were civilians that were coming in to respond. So he's obviously very fair and objective about this, and he's looking at it from all sides. But he's not the only one looking into it. The legal charity Reprieve also looked into these double taps, and they thought that there was the possibility of significant civilian deaths in a July 23rd attack and on a July 6th attack in 2012. So out of the 5 double taps that definitely happened in that 2012 period, let me summarize some of the Bureau's findings. The Bureau's field research finds that, as widely reported at the time, on May 24th of 2012, a CIA-controlled armed drone hit a mosque in the village of Hasukel in North Waziristan, killing some worshippers. 6 further people were killed in a second drone strike shortly afterwards as they took part in rescue work, according to Yousafzai's sources. Now, again, Yousafzai couldn't confirm with absolute certainty that the people praying inside the mosque or the people who were going to rescue the injured were not insurgents or militants. He couldn't prove with certainty that they were civilians. But a mosque was definitely hit. People who came to help the injured were definitely killed. That's a double tap. All right, so here's another instance. In June 4th of 2012, the one where they actually took out al-Libi, this is interesting because they told congressional aides and they showed them, the executive branch did, how they killed al-Libi, and they said that he was alone. Now, in reality, it turns out they did multiple strikes and that 16 alleged militants were killed in a series of missile strikes. Now, if they were all militants, okay, you might say, we did a number of strikes, we got one of the top leaders. That would actually seem to be one of the cleaner drone strikes. But why hide it from the congressional leadership and the congressional aides that saw the video? Why only show them one part of the video and not the other part where the other 16 people died? So that's an interesting question. Then we go to July 6th of 2012. There was, as usual, a drone strike. And then, as they explained, after waiting 30 minutes, rescue workers began. CIA drones then returned, killing 12 others, including 3 brothers. Legal charity Reprieve reports eyewitnesses as identifying 8 civilians killed in that attack. The people on the ground know that we do double taps. They know that if you dare to go and help the injured before they die, that you will get killed yourself. So they wait 30 minutes as people are writhing around on the ground. Now, you might not have sympathy for some of those people because some of them might be militants. But you really have no sympathy for the civilians, according to this organization, that are rushing in. Well, they're not even rushing in. They had to watch them sit there and perhaps die or certainly writhe in agony, severely injured for 30 minutes before they came in. And we're like, ha ha, we don't care. We're going to hit you anyway. If civilian rescuers are indeed being intentionally targeted, there is no doubt about the law. Those strikes are a war crime. Ben Emerson, QC, is the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture, and he told reporters in 2012 that if what the Bureau has alleged is that President Obama, since he has taken office, has caused 50 civilians to be killed with follow-up strikes, not the original strikes. 50 civilians killed in follow-up strikes overall, both the 2009 through 2011 strikes and the 2012 strikes, and that more than 20 civilians have also been attacked in deliberate strikes on funerals and mourners. And finally, they say civilians now rarely appear to take part in rescue operations. Well, that would be mission accomplished. We don't want anyone rescued. We don't want anyone even thinking of going to help people who have been severely injured. We want them to sit there and die. And that if you dare be a first responder and go in there to help them, we will kill you too. But remember, guys, we're the good guys. We wear the white hat. It's okay. We're going after the bad guys, the terrorists. Unless, of course, they're civilians or first responders or people praying in a mosque or people that went to a funeral. Remember, the bad guys do double taps, except for when we do.